Previously on Other M.
Number 9. Look him in the eye, ain't no higher. Summon all the courage you require. Then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 10 paces, fire!
Well, hello once again, and welcome back to Nathan Plays Metroid Other M. My name is Nathan, and this is Metroid, the final episode for the Nintendo Wii. Let's go ahead and see what happened in the previous episode. Lots of twists and turns we've had in the past couple of installments. Samus hesitates to attack a baby Metroid that suddenly appears, and when Adam uses a freeze gun to stop her, she collapses with Sector Zero right before her eyes. Adam was not the ringleader of the plot. Adam knows the Metroids in Sector Zero can't be frozen, and decides to destroy them using a self-destruct protocol which he activates, causing Sector Zero to detach and explode while Samus remains safely behind. Samus watches him go to his death, but finally understanding his intentions, she overcomes her sadness and heads toward Room MW, which he pointed out just before he met his end. Whew, a lot to get through. Sort of robbed us of a big hero moment there, didn't we? I mean, it's one of those things where you end up feeling like Samus doesn't really do a lot here. But we had a big chase down a hallway, got our gravity suit upgrade, and now we're leaving. No, we're not. We're going the wrong way. This should have been edited from the final film. If you are seeing this footage, we apologize. There's the elevator. Nice big, it's roomy, isn't it? I think that elevator is larger than certain houses. So anyway, we're back up in the ice sector. And our job currently is to navigate... oh, this is not openable yet. I think that's a power bomb door or something like it. Suppose we're going to have to work our way all the way back to the main elevator. Leave this piece of garbage behind. Unless... But now we've got a gravity suit. You know, I think what I really love about this boss, besides the fact that it won't die, is the distressed baby screaming sound effect that's clearly underneath the boss's cries there. It's great. It feels good. So once again, freezing its tail causes it to drop its big gravity effect that doesn't really affect us anyway. And then it does what it knows how to do best. Crawl around. Threateningly. Well, I'll take the opportunity to bathe it in plasma shots. Maybe launch the odd missile if I can. I don't seem to be doing much more than chipping damage, but I am already a third of the way done the encounter, so that's nice. With the gravity effect on, obviously my missile was a big old dud. Bad timing there, Nathan. I just really dislike this thing. I mean, you're not meant to love it or sympathize with it, but I mean, in terms of it overstaying its welcome as a foe. Well, just about done. But then it activates some sort of an unseen black hole feature that draws in all your shots, and which I have actually no idea what to do with. While it dances around and throws those cool plasma balls you used to buy at Radio Shack at me. It's Stop it. I like those plasma balls. Don't take that away from me. I actually really want to get one again. I think they're cool. I don't care. Let's run up to it. Maybe that'll help. I don't know why. This is ridiculous. I have this thing has a sliver of health left and I want it there. There! Nope. That wasn't it. There. Okay. Now it appears to be actually and for real serious dead this time. I'm not sticking around to find out. We're just gonna get out of here. So the rest of the run back through the ice area was oh no, first we're not doing that. We gotta get some power-ups that we still saw on the way in. Now that we got gravity suit. Excuse my foreshadowing earlier. Still whiffed that jump despite having new powers, but a couple tries later, and I got it. It's a missile tank. Got 32 now. Seems like a nice number. Strange that they only give you one missile per tank. That's unheard of in this series. You can also grab this thing. The E-Recovery Tank. Increases your concentration and restoration volume. Apparently, this isn't my first one. It looks like I have two. It may be difficult to see on the video, but the first two boxes of my health are have a little extra box around them. And so if I'm down, if the chips are down, I'm back at the elevator now, by the way, then I can do recovery, and I can get back to now 2 tanks of health. Which is nice. It's not bad. So like I said, the rest of the run through the ice area was completely uneventful. And now we're back at Central Station here. Take the elevator down to Sector 1. And run through this again.
For Sector 1.
You may recall that we followed the deleter all the way through here. And then we had to come all the way back. And it's, it seems maximum pointless to do it a third time, but here we are. In our third time in relatively short succession. So we'll just skip past most of it. It's done. So, after being robbed of our heroic glory at Sector 0, it seems we've also been potentially robbed of, once again, defeating Ridley, our greatest and most amazing foe. A little disappointing. But I wonder what it was. What attacked him? Interesting question, that. Some new security robots have posted up in this hallway. They are not difficult to deal with, and now we're back in the lab, where we earlier met Madeline Bergman. There appears to be a body here. I can tell. I know that that's what we're looking at. One last... So, I'll just say it because the game actually never does. That's meant to be the end of the deleter subplot. The name is never mentioned again. But remember James there. Is that a spoiler? Doesn't matter. We'll find out what happened to him later. But James was the deleter all along. Do you remember which one he was? It's been so long. I don't really. Oh.
Ridley. What could have happened?
Yes, what indeed could have happened. This is, I think, meant to evoke memories of Super Metroid and the mysterious room near the end of the game where you find a bunch of desiccated husks of various large creatures. I will tell you it is not the same thing that occurred then as now. But now that we've turned on the door, the security system or something has started shooting rings at us. Rings! Shoutouts to the Turian area that features in a lot of Metroid games. Why on earth the Federation would copy this technology specifically when it has a whole host of other robots with beams and things? Why put the slow-moving ring beams in here? Who can say? Why do they do anything? At this point, still largely a mystery to me. Maybe there's a giant novelization that'll unpack all of the details for us. Doors locked. Room MW. We've arrived. Some mysterious kind of holding containers there. And nothing inside but eerie flickering light. Let's check this one. Oh, see somebody in there. Well, that's... doesn't look like Madeline Bergman.
No.
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 No, you got it wrong.
Stay away. Stay away.
You have to calm down.
So, rather than continue to try to communicate like an idiot, I'm going to just wander into this room that she opened in a panic.
Wait. Metroid eggs. It can't be.
Well, I was supposed to dodge there very cinematically, but failed. So yes, it's a Metroid Queen. Not seen, I think, since Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, and certainly not in 3 glorious dimensions like this. So that is actually kind of cool, but also very scary. So with every Metroid, I can freeze the Metroids. I dodge out of the way and freeze them. And then it takes a few missiles to actually destroy them. This is pretty par for the course for the Metroid series. However, with each of the ones I destroy, more hatch from the things back, and right now I have quite a cloud of them. They can latch onto you, and your only recourse is to drop into ball mode and lay some bombs to knock them off. It's annoying, I will say. It's quite challenging. The Mama Metroid also has a trick where, even when frozen, she can unfreeze them, and then you have to deal with the whole crowd of them all over again. So this section of the fight took a really long time, and I've snipped most of it out for so we can get on with it. But I did have to. I hit bottom a couple of times and had to recharge. But finally, the last Metroid's gone. The last Metroid. Oh, now, this, I believe, is a new feature, although I can't remember the ending of Metroid 2 on the Game Boy all that terribly well. Anyway, no more baby Metroids, but the Queen has now got some rad new spikes and wants to light me on fire. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with it. I'll just say that. So, it's going to be a combination of lots and lots of plasma shots, plus, when I'm able, we'll see if we get some distance, get some perspective. When the flame breath happens, you've got a lot of time to line up a good multi-missile, which does a good chunk of damage, as you can see in the upper right corner. This is pretty much how this fight went for quite a while. Again. And that was a miss for some reason. How that happened? Let's say. Oh. The tension of charging in the heat of battle. But it worked out. Move. Oh no. Okay. Oh boy. Pulls it off a second time, and we're back in the fight. Oh, whoops. We're not done.
This facility will intersect Galactic Federation orbit in approximately 30 seconds. This facility will intersect Galactic Federation orbit in approximately 30 seconds. Emergency brakes engaged. Brace for impact. Warning. Emergency brakes engaged. Brace for
So now I'm in control once again, suddenly. Seems obvious that we need to take a big pot shot at the belly there. Now this next part is somewhat less obvious. So here's the thing. After having to have almost all of my equipment authorized throughout the course of this game, the last piece that I need, I'm not told about. The only way to finish this is with a power bomb, and the game absolutely does not tell you that after you. You used this thing once in the tutorial, hours ago, and it's the only way to beat the boss now. And if you're not fast enough, you're done. So we try again. And I'd like to point out at this stage, well, we'll show it in a moment here. That if you check your equipment before you're inside her belly, it's not there. So if you thought of it now, while you were relatively safe, you wouldn't get the... You have to just remember it somehow. And it's so dumb and frustrating. And I will confirm, I absolutely had to look it up years ago when I played it the first time. I knew about it now because it still makes me mad all these years later. Anyway. All right. Well, I guess it is time to go find out what that person's deal is. If we can. Why they sicked their monster on me. Why I fell for it. Embarrassing, really. Also, why do my boots in my power suit sound like heels? Like high heels on this floor?
Don't come any closer! Don't come any closer! Stay away from me!
Easy. I won't come any closer until you say so. My name is Samus. I'm an independent bounty hunter. I know the situation here and I know how you must feel. I'm here to secure your safety. May I come closer? What's your role at this facility?
I'm responsible for all operations. My name is Madeline Bergman.
Wait a minute. I met another woman who called herself Madeline Bergman. What's going on here?
What you met was MB. She's an android. She was created with the intellectual data of Mother Brain and consequently developed Mother Brain's consciousness as well.
What?
The Federation's foolish plan. Mother Brain's rampage. Everything that happened here was just as Madeline, or rather MB, had told me. The person who sabotaged the system to stop MB's rampage and sent out the distress call had to be the person standing before me. It had to be Madeline Bergman.
MB was the artificial intelligence originally developed to regenerate and control space pirate special forces. Because we wanted it to control these special forces through telepathy, we were forced to model its infrastructure after Mother Brain. At that time, MB didn't have a human form. Before long, we started to see the viability of creating Metroid clones. Once we did, MB started to take on her current shape.
But why?
Because we needed the first Metroid hatchling to recognize MB as its mother, she had to take on the form of a living thing. With that as our theoretical basis, we were able to create the ideal relationship with the Metroid. One that wasn't based on dominance or control.
I remembered the baby hatching before my eyes. When it attacked Mother Brain in order to save me, that was the result of the kind of ideal relationship they were trying to develop with MB. They found the perfect means of control and started propagating Metroids in Sector 0. At the same time, they were conducting genetic manipulation experiments to create unfreezable Metroids. Apparently, the queen I met earlier was the first of these propagated Metroids to mature. They wanted to preserve her as a control specimen, so they had left her genes unaltered. The fact that she'd grow into a queen was something not even Madeline and her team could have predicted. Only special infants had the genetic coding to become queens.
Once our MB was in a human form, she excelled. As an interface between us and them, her skills with personal interaction humanized her to a great extent.
If my theory is correct, this is going to be a groundbreaking multi-system for artificial intelligence.
Her confidence was unwavering, and her ability to learn was greater than we'd expected. But then she developed emotions, then a nascent sense of herself. She began asserting her own thoughts, and her opinions began to contradict ours. It's quite typical for artificial intelligence to evolve as a result of self-analysis. However, there's no precedent for an AI like MB developing emotions. It's possible that her interactions with the Metroids brought it about, but we don't know for sure.
The newly hatched infant took to her like his mother. And perhaps at that moment, MB began to develop a soul. It was all conjecture, but the idea wouldn't leave my mind.
And that was when we decided to alter her AI program.
A human-like existence, but one without feelings. To make MB less than human, the researchers had to deny her that consciousness. I knew this, but in my heart, I felt sympathy for MB.
On the day we were going to alter MB's program, right before my eyes, I watched her being restrained.
Stop! What are you doing to her?
These orders are from above. Take her away.
Wait! Madeline!
She reached out to me and asked me for help, but there was nothing I could do.
What's happening?
My presence that day caused a disturbing reaction in her. She was fixated on me.
Madeline had taken to calling MB Melissa. She took the initials MB and told the AI they stood for Melissa Bergman.
It looks great on you.
MB liked that name. It made it sound like Madeline was calling her her daughter. Once she felt abandoned and hunted by that same Madeline, MB telepathically commanded the special forces to revolt. The facility fell into complete chaos and suffered widespread damage.
MB was trying to get revenge on the Federation Army. And on us. It's possible all humans have become the target of her hatred.
With the space pirates under her control, she was able to propagate the Metroids in Sector 0, even creating a Queen Metroid. She was well armed and planning her attack on the Galactic Federation. But Adam and I crushed her plan completely. And And now, who could guess where she was and what she planned next?
She's backed into a corner. And her hatred is entirely focused on you and me right now. MB! Wait, MB, calm down. Please listen.
Madeline, step back!
I mean, we were wrong. It's all over.
Madeline!
I was not wrong. The humans were foolish, and I was forced to bring judgment on them. And yet, because of you, I failed. You must understand the weight of your crime. You must pay the price for what you've done.
Please, MB. We have to get past this.
No. You will all be judged.
It's okay now. I won't ever fail you again. I promise. I'm so sorry. Melissa. Oh, Melissa, it looks great on you. That's your name.
Let's go! Move! Go move!
Stay close to me!
And so, we are abruptly thrust into the on-rails shooter that we never wanted. And I genuinely didn't remember this part of the game anymore. So I just fought. I fought to the best of my ability, and they just keep coming. And they keep coming. I thought I was making progress, but sometimes they get like sort of right inside your, clip into your hitbox like that, and then what do? You die. And I should state that I am like as I'm recording this, like 100% over this game by this point. I do not want to be doing the light gun part that I never wanted to do. But we're going to try again. We're going to try it all again. Here we go. This, I'll say right now, went on for 7 more tries, at least. I stopped recording for a bit after that. But basically, the second time went around. This is the second time, and it went even worse than the first time. And on some of the successive tries, I felt like I was making progress, but I just was not grasping how to do this and not quickly run out of either health. You can't recharge when you're standing like this. You can't use concentration, and you quickly run out of missiles as well. So this is attempt 3 out of 7 or thereabouts. Finally, I decided something's missing here, and it was off to your friend and mine, GameFAQs, to discover the answer. The answer is this. Don't bother fighting the bugs. They're a ruse, a decoy. You just need them out of your way long enough to target her.
Stop! Don't move!
Melissa!
Hey, are you okay? Hey, hang down over there, too! I'm getting you out of here.
So, Miss Aaron, I heard what happened. You performed admirably. You can leave the rest to us.
Come on, get up now.
Madeline!
Wait, Aaron. Unfortunate what happened to Commander Malkovich. And to think that his entire unit was annihilated. Truly a tragic day. Would you agree, Aaron? Sadly, with them gone, you're just an outsider. And given your unofficial status, I cannot allow you contact with the witness. With your predilection for transporting illegal cargo like infant Metroids, I must ask that you restrict your... Time for the lady to go home. Someone escort her.
Yes, sir.
Time for us to go. Come on, princess.
What? Stop right there. Who are you?
Anthony Hicks, sir. Galactic Federation Platoon 7. I need to secure the safety of any survivors, Commander Malkovich's orders, and the purpose of this mission.
What?
Authorized by the chairman of the Galactic Federation. Of course.
What do you mean, the chairman?
But man, you guys made it here quick. I mean, if I hadn't stopped the engines, we might have missed each other. Crazy. Crazy how something good can come out of something bad. Whoa, didn't mean to wake her. Guess I ought to be quiet.
Anthony was trying to be courteous to Madeline. She was exhausted and had only just fallen asleep. She needed the rest. She had a lot of explaining to do once she got to Galactic Federation headquarters. For herself and for Melissa.
Still can't get my head around it. What a crazy mission.
Anthony sighed as he muttered to himself. What would have happened if we hadn't been called there? Might the furious MB have attacked the Galactic Federation and brought about its utter destruction? Melissa wasn't insane, no. One day, a consciousness simply bloomed within her. And those that caused it to bloom, the humans, called it insanity. I was the insane one. That was what Madeline muttered softly as she sank into sleep. The selfish conceits of humans drove MB to violence. It was their distorted perceptions and greed that awoke such fury in the fledgling girl's heart. Her thought was to punish the foolish and conceited. But MB could not complete her mission. As Melissa, she was defeated. With their one vulnerability overcome, the Metroids were indestructible. If some fool just following orders had taken the savage creatures to those who sought them. I can't imagine what would have happened if Adam hadn't recognized the looming danger. But the cost was far too great. Why did Adam have to pay with his life? For me, I couldn't believe he was dead. For the first time, I questioned his choice.
No objections, right, lady?
I heard Adam's voice in my head. And I knew in my heart that he had made the right decision. Just as he had so many years ago. In that moment, I swore not to grieve his death. And for the first time, I gave him a thumbs up. Just in case he was watching over me. His amused expression looked as though he wanted to say something. His face and Adam's swirled together. That last smile as Adam drifted away.
So there we have it. Project M, also known as Other M. Done and dusted. I glossed over. We moved pretty quickly with the power of editing. We moved through quite a bit of frustration from me personally, and I have to tell you, like, I was just halfway out of my chair. Like, I was so annoyed and so done with this game by now. So, final thoughts. A little something I jotted down for the occasion. Over the years, I maintained that this wasn't a bad game per se, just not a good Metroid game. I would have recommended it with some caveats, but still recommended it. Not anymore. Not anymore. Story-wise, I was frustrated because Samus is repeatedly robbed of her agency, and in the end, she might not even really have accomplished anything by showing up to this situation at all. The writers try to show her personality and her feelings via inner monologue, but they end up making her into this passive person who can just barely hold it together while she's on a mission. And I mean, I should have kept count, and I didn't, of all the times that she's described in the narration as anxious or panicky, or through her own kind of self-talk, she says, how often she says thoughts are swirling in her head, and it sucks. It's frustrating. And it's not what a lot of us pictured for the character. Gameplay-wise, most of the game plays fine. Running and shooting feels fine. The dodging system is a bit tempting to cheese. I like the speed, but switching to first person while aiming at the screen to fire missiles was like almost always a mess. In my viewpoint, as you saw, would like spin wildly around as I try to locate my pointer in the heat of battle, and then you're forced to stand still, so something usually comes and smacks you out of it anyway. And that, I mean, this last episode, this end game, just that whole thing with the power bombs, man, just leaves such a sour taste in my mouth. So ultimately, I'll say it, this is not worth a play. I don't do it. If you are anyone other than Metroid series completionists or very curious people can check it out. Or wait, no, I got mixed around. Anyway, don't bother. There are better games of this type, like action adventure exploration games, and there are better games in the Metroid series by far. So just play something else. You see it there on the shelf in your used game store? Don't bother. Go the other way. Go play Batman Arkham Asylum. Go play Metroid Prime. Go play, really, all kinds of stuff. But, that's going to be pretty much it for me. There is a post-game where you can go back to the bottle ship and you can collect all the stuff you missed now that you have all your power-ups unlocked. You get to fight Phantoon, brought back from Super Metroid for some reason. And you do it all so that you can collect Adam's helmet. Which, who cares? I don't want it. So, there's that. Next game, probably going to be Silent Hill 2, if I can work up the gumption to actually play through it. After that, maybe Metal Gear Twin Snakes on the GameCube, is what I'm thinking. So, as always, thank you ever so much for watching and sticking with me. I took almost a year of hiatus to finish this thing. Sorry about that. There's kind of a lot going on for everybody. I think we can understand, hopefully. And if you don't understand and you're mad at me, then that's something you got to deal with. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you ever so much for watching. We'll see you next mission. Don't forget to stick around for my secret post-credits scene. Thank you. Goodbye.
Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the bottle ship, a mission that will most likely be carried out in the next day or two. I'm heading toward the bottle ship now. I'm going to rescue something that was left there. Something that can't be replaced.